Okay, let's do it.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Branding Beardo.
Hellos.
And today we'll be talking more about culture and how it's actually driven by your corporate strategy, which is basically your vision, mission, or purpose and values, which is not supposed to be a $1,000 piece of plastic stuck on your fucking wall. So this is going to be an epic.
It's gonna be on fire.
Discussion.
Let's do it.
Too many companies out there, with their corporate strategy in that sense, vision, mission, values, are so terribly written, so shitty in the way that
terrible. So
yeah,
terrible.
it's
A
it's
mission statement is not core values.
correct.
Number one.
So everything has gotten mixed up. So the problem with that, apart from writing it anyhow or whoever wrote for them, what I've noticed as well is that they are so external focused that they forget that these values also to be understood by the people who are carrying the brand forward, which is the people who work for you. They need to understand whether it's an on-site function or off-site function. They have to understand that completely. And so for all those who are listening out there, if your vision sounds like this, we strive to be the number one blah blah company, providing the best quality, and that is complete and utter bullshit.
And if you agree with John's statement, smash the like button right now.
For the very reason, right, that all these things are interconnected. If you don't have the money to put in, if you don't have the vision to put in, trying to achieve that. I know people say, when you set your vision, please set something that has very lofty ideals behind it. But it cannot be so improbable, right? That you there's no way to achieve it at all, not even come close to it. And the thing is, in the business world of today, come on, man, you talk about professionalism, you talk about quality and all that. You should go back into the 1970s, because if you start a business and if you don't have this as already part of your original premise of the entire brand, which is to provide good service and good quality items, then my friend, you are in the wrong career.
You should not be doing business, basically.
You should not be doing that. Yeah. So those things, right? The further it is, the weirder it is, right? And the more nonsensical it sounds. How will your staff manage to get it? If your vision, mission, and values can only be understood by only 1, 2, or 3 people, or worse, no one, then how do you expect the staff to understand and bring that forward? So I got into a little bit of a heated moment with the client. I said, look, my job as your consultant, right, is not to tell you what you want to hear. My job is to, based on what I've learned and studied from the research and everything that has been done, that this should be the correct way forward. Now, if you don't want to listen to me, fine, sign it that you have made the changes and I don't want to be held accountable. But I'm already telling you now at this point that this is wrong, because you've forgotten. You are in an industry where your people are normally forgotten. I will not even mention the industry of this company, but I told them, you are in an industry where your people are already forgotten. So why? I've already tried to put things in place so that you pull back some of the attention and give it to your people so that they don't fuck you over and just join another company over some small amount of money. But still, no, the need for the nonsense of the external values, the external mission, the typical quality, knowledge.
Isn't it interesting that one of the reasons why it's always the typical like quality, the goods customer service, is because I can tell that none of the clients that I've spoken to about their mission, vision, and statement have ever asked their employees what they want, they want to include in the mission, vision, and statement, right?
No, the thing is,
what they think, what the employees think the company stands for, they have never asked at all. Right. Then how do you work together to achieve the goal?
And the worst
not a shared goal.
Yeah, and the worst thing was when I bring up something like that, the question back to me is, what for you get them involved? They are only like this only one, referring to the position that they are holding.
Yep.
Then that makes you a 100% douchebag already to begin with.
Yes.
And that's not the way. Because no matter how small,
it also shows how unintelligent they are because, and I'm not saying this to insult them, I mean it. It shows how unintelligent they are. Because then they only see the person as a position, as a tool.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And that person will only always forever be that thing to them.
Yeah.
Cannot be anything more.
And the worst thing, I don't think that your annual dinner and dance or once a month give something small means that your culture is fucking good. Okay, it is not. Right?
It's
all these things are, I'm sure they appreciate in some sense, but you are building a very superficial culture that is just built upon giving something. The moment that you cannot give, cannot do, and most of us come up, we don't really give a damn about your bloody D&D. No one gives a shit about that. It's a forced day for most people, right? But that's not tangible. Great to have, right? But it's not a sustainable way of. That's not culture building at all. The very premise of culture building, which will also lead to how your corporate strategy is fixed, is really about understanding your organization inside out, the people who are involved in this state. So the thing is, right, and that's why I always tell people, even when you come up with your DNA, your vision, mission statement, your vision, mission, and purpose, that when you go on, as your company grows, as your company learns new experiences, these things will change also. It has to be dynamic. It's living, it's breathing, it has to change. Because you can't possibly, what bloody hell, you 20 years ago until now, you still have the same values, then what the fuck have you been doing?
True story. Because, Amazon started with only wanting to dominate the book industry, and now they have changed into,
everywhere.
I want to dominate everything. I want to eat everything. And that's basically their mission statement now, right? Like their vision now is they want to be everything.
And also because, right, people don't realize that when you come out with this kind of thing, okay, it's not just to go and pay the signage maker good amount of money to put that fucking piece of plastic up on your damn wall for nobody to read. The thing is, it should be also measurable, but people don't use their corporate strategy and the vision, mission, values as a measurement, right? So for me, right, if you tell me your vision 20 years ago, I strive to be number one in Southeast Asia, giving the da-da-da-da-da. So then 20 years later, now my question to you is, how far are you from achieving this?
Have you achieved it?
Yeah, or have you achieved it? If you haven't achieved it, bad enough. If you're far away from achieving it, then what the hell is going on under your leadership is the question.
And if you haven't achieved it, does that mean that your mission statement is all bullshit and you just want to make money? Because if your real vision is just to make money, that's okay too. I'm not saying that you should have a grand vision and then achieve it. If your mission is just to make a ton of money, do that. But don't lie to yourself, and worst of all, don't lie to your employees.
Everyone just wants to put it just for because it's nice. And then
everyone wants to put it because
the worst thing
else has it.
Then after that, when do up something for them, right? Then the next thing is that, then they want to come up. Why can't you come up with something like just do it? Then my question to them: are you Nike? Are you in an industry where you need to inspire, where this is a requirement for you? No. Look at where the damn hell you're doing.
The question is, do you live it? The motto of just do it?
Yeah.
Right? Are you willing to pay the 50 million or the 100 million to get the next Tom Brady or LeBron or Jordan?
But it's not even about the money even, but the fact is that you put all those things there, but are you really actively trying to live it? Are you looking at your staff?
Will you stand behind it?
Hey, part of our, or going to the staff and going, hey, you know that, how come you don't know this? Part of our values is knowledge, and that means an internal sense knowledge means we go out and we try to learn on our own also in order to improve ourselves, whether it's for personal development or professional development. We are supposed to know things. How come? Then it becomes measurable in that sense. Then you can hold people accountable and say, hey, these values are not just there for fun, man. This is how we live. But people forget this. And
I've also seen people who have values like initiative, right? But then the senior leadership have zero initiative and depend on other people to do everything, including making.
But for that kind of thing, my point for them is always probably the definition of initiative for them has been completely misunderstood. They've missed the point completely.
The other people take initiative for me, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, when I mean in this industry, you know, I've been in this industry for what 10 years or so, and for me, it's always it's such a joy when a company follows and say, wow, John, okay, great, this is how we should live inside, and this is how we should live for the external. There must always be that link. All people like, huh? Your values only talking about want our customer to be happy, and what has it got to do with me, right? Then you become so focused on the outside, then you forget, you know, these people on the inside are the ones who are churning out the product for you, you know. So who do you think should be happy? Both sides have to be happy, right? Shitty product like a restaurant, unhappy stuff, shitty food is going to come out. Who's affected? You and your pocket, right?
Correct.
So for me, I've seen those companies who really took the values and really implemented it, right?
They ran with it.
And they ran with it. And I see so much good happening for these companies for the point that they used it, you know.
And the thing is that whatever values that you have given to them, whatever values you have worked with them to develop, when they run with it, they are the ones that see the benefit, not you, right? As a consultant. But you're happy for them because you see them grow, their team and the business. Like literally, there are financial returns for implementing those values in real life, and how they translate into actions that the staff take for the customers.
Correct.
That makes a huge difference.
You know, like for one project that I completed not too long ago, and now we are going into other parts of the project. So I cannot say so much about it, but the entire brand promise and things like that is that they are focusing on solutions that are poison free for the world. And for them, this is not just lip service, not lip service at all. Everything that they are doing is geared towards the vision, geared towards the mission, and the values. They live it because they need to, because it's so strong, right? It's so strong, but it's within their grasp to try and influence. So what do? How's their culture built? As a result of very solid vision, mission, and values, you know, or vision, purpose, and values, whichever way you want to look at, is by they understand how the bosses are. The bosses are like that, naturally very environmentally conscious. So they see there's already examples. They already have people that they can look up to and say, okay, this is the way that I'm going to live my life. So that means, how does it translate then? How does this build up the culture and atmosphere in the office? When people do something, they become naturally conscious. Hey, no, you can't do this because it's going to be a waste of paper, bad for the environment. And so it builds up this mentality, and this is what you mean building a culture that is aligned to your organization. But the people at the top must first believe that this is not just some fucking words to put on the wall. They must. The people at the top have to live it first, this part.
And people at the top have to be willing to spend the time to explain and repeat themselves many times in many different forms, right? To different people so that they get it too. Because if the leadership, senior leadership, can only understand each other and cannot translate into cannot translate that into for anyone else, then the culture is lost.
Correct.
That's the other thing that
absolutely lost.
Yeah, absolutely lost. I had a client who spent a lot of time at the beginning when they first started, actually writing down, and we spent a lot of time writing down, shooting video, talking about it, about how they feel they want their customers to be treated and why. Because they treat the food a certain way. It's a restaurant. They treat the food a certain way, they respect the food a certain way, and they want to be able to translate the same thing to their customers. They want to be able to, in their own words, transmit the same love for the cuisine to the customers. And then from there, they align everything. So every staff that goes in, no matter whether it's just a part-timer or a full-time wait staff, they have to know the food like the back of their hand. They have to be able to explain. They have to be able to introduce it to the customer, and they do it without the customer asking. Right? They bring it to the table and they say, this is the item, the rice is from where, this is from where, what, how, you know, this is the optimal thickness, you should be eating from here to there. They take the time to explain. And why? Very simple. They want to transmit the same love for the food as they have.
But also don't forget, for your staff to even arrive at that point means that you as a business leader, you as an organization already have to be really driving it. Because
Yes,
if you don't, right, if you are the kind of boss, right, who encourages conflict, loves seeing conflict, right, takes a back seat, really doesn't give a shit, what makes you think that your staff will give a shit on your behalf?
correct.
Ask yourself that, right? And you find
Correct.
that, then you ask, hey, my staff quite lousy. Then for me, it's always like this. No, you are the environment that you are working in. Like if you see like if your boss is those kind, okay, I'm a gung ho type. You will, even though you are not that of that character, you
You
will
will
try to
try.
break out of your
Yeah,
shell
you
to
will
in
try.
order to emulate what your boss is, because that
Yeah.
is supposed to be the picture of success, right? But if you're
Right.
going to be laid back or like that,
And also,
then
I
your
think
staff
like
also going to be like this, what isn't it?
if someone tells me, "Oh, my stuff is like shit lah," and all that, I always like ask them how many
Mm.
are like that.
Yeah.
If it's just one, I get it. But all of them,
Correct.
then it's a reflection on you, not on the
Yes.
staff really.
Yes. That's why
And that's
whenever
a hard truth. That's a
yeah,
hard truth. People have stopped talking to me because of that.
right.
But I have to tell them.
No, but it's the same thing. Whenever I have issues with a coworker, staff and all that, and if they are not able to perform the way that is expected, the first thing I ask is, what have
Is
I
it my
done?
fault? Yeah.
What did
Yeah.
I do, or what did I not do? What did I say? What did I not say? Did I not try to understand this person enough to push the person and encourage the person in the way that they need to be nurtured? Or was I too hands off? But of course, there are many, many different factors as well. But the first thing I will ask is, hey, if when someone resigns, I'll be like, hey, what
Yeah.
could I have
What
done?
is it? Yeah.
What could I have done better? Right? Like what
Correct.
you said. If it's just one person giving the problem, okay, that person could be just an issue. But if you have a few people, or if you are working in an organization where it's a never-ending rotating door of people, right? I remember this other advertising firm I was supposed to apply for a job. In fact, I think I got it was quite a number of years, quite a number of years ago, and I didn't go. I didn't turn up for the interview because of the culture I heard that they had, which is
Yeah.
basically insulting you in the presence of everyone, crushing paper,
Yeah.
throwing at your face, telling you that you're stupid.
Humiliating employees.
Humiliating.
Yeah, basically.
So I didn't bother with that. So if you want that kind of environment, then you are the environment that you
In
create.
fact,
And the people will be part of the environment also. Nah.
I had I had a similar experience, but it was a lot more personal. I noticed I was working with a beauty brand, and so this beauty brand, right? Every 3 months, new marketing manager, new marketing manager, new marketing manager. So when it came to a point where the CEO asked me, "Hey, you want to be my marketing manager or not? I triple your pay." I looked at her and went, no, thank you." Right? Because you and that is very real effect on hiring, right? Because
Yes.
it means that you take a lot longer to hire. You spend a lot more money to hire, and
Correct.
then you lose people faster. It's just financially not healthy for your company also.
Absolutely.
So if your company has a reputation for like having revolving door, right, then you will be hurt financially in the end.
Yeah, so this topic is a very, very strong one today, and it's this topic is very close to Kenneth and myself, because we play a very active role in helping the companies that we work with craft these things, and we spend a lot of time on this because this needs to be right for the company to move forward, for the company to progress. This needs to be gotten right. I mean, if you think about it, like for countries, right? We have our pledge, we have all these things. What do our politicians always like to say? Going back to those values and saying, hey, this is what Singapore is all about, or this is what the UK is all about, this is what Malaysia is all about, and that's how we have to be living it. It's the same thing, like every organization, I always tell people, it's like a small country,
Correct.
and this is something that is so important. You really, really have to get that part right. If you really want to inspire your staff to do more, inspire the entire organization to hit the greater heights, then your DNA has to be settled. It has to be set. It has to be firm from the start. And as
I
you
think for
progress,
me also, it's very personal. I take it personally when I see companies failing.
Yeah.
Especially where I'm working with them. I take it personally when I see people quit. Good, especially if it's good stuff, right?
Yep.
They quit. They're like, why? Why? Did we do something wrong? Did we build the company the wrong way? I take it very personally, and I do it on purpose, because if I don't, I think personally we are letting down the people that work with us. To be honest, right? Because you are right. Every company is like a country, and you don't want to see countries sink, right? And people always say, "Oh, yeah," but like, for example, in the restaurant industry, people will reduce everything to a statistic, right? 90% of restaurants won't survive in the first 5 years. Yeah, but that means thousands of jobs, thousands of people will go jobless and have to find a job again. Like, what is the human impact of that? Like, I always question myself when I do that. And when you look at that, then you realize, oh shit, no, we have to do a good job. We have to make sure that every restaurant, every retail, every B2B business that we do is built on like sound foundation, give it the best chance to survive and thrive. If not, whatever money you take as a consultant, it's not honest money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think.
And for me, it's never a good feeling, and that's why for me, of course, I try to be as respectful as possible, but sometimes I do get, very emotionally connected with these companies, because I learn so much about their companies. I speak to so many of their staff that I know what is wrong at its core. And this will be one of the ways, not saying that this is the only way to fix it, but this is one of the ways you can start to try fixing that culture and building that truly great organization.
And I think a lot of times founders, and this might be what they call founder tunnel vision, right? A lot of times founders will have tunnel vision, right?
Yeah.
So even if they see something is wrong, they don't believe that it's wrong.
Correct.
And it's up to people like you and me to go and stuff in their face and tell them. I think that's where like that's where like
your vision, please look wider.
Yes.
And go,
And that's when you get like super frustrated sometimes, because founders being founders can be very, very stubborn, very, very hard-headed, and you will clash with them on that. But again, it goes back to what you just said, right? You are not paying me to tell you what you want to hear.
Correct.
You're paying me to tell you what you have to hear.
Exactly.
It's completely different.
So for me, again, not slagging off before, but last few words before we end here is that, when you call someone in a consultant in to help your company and all that, we have, of course, we don't have the monetary investment like you do, but we have the time invested in your company, and we want to see you do well. Which consultant wants to see the company that they're working for go down the drain? No one wants to do that.
It hurts the rep,
think about it. Yeah, think about it. Anyway, it was been another super episode. I think culture, because there are so many ways of building culture. The culture is going to be something that we are going to be talking about a lot. And for this episode, it has really been about the DNA, that you need in order to start building that culture. It's not, like I said before, not about sitting or standing in a circle and singing fucking kumbaya to each other. But really looking at it in a concrete way.
And I think when you have a very concrete internal culture, it really does translate into real business results. It's important to remember that, like, a lot of people will say, why you like spend money on like building culture? Like, all this extra time can be put into like getting more sales. Yeah, it's true. But those are short-term goals. The long-term goal that you have has to be the survival of the company beyond your existence. Even after you die, you want the company to be around. It's kind of like the Disney idea, right? Like, even if Walt Disney dies, everyone else that comes after understands what Disney is about and then is able to bring it to the next level.
Right.
So only question here for culture is, do you want that? You want like a Disney style, or do you want a company that shuts down after you die?
That's something for you guys to think out there until we join you for the next episode. This is Big John and
this is Kenneth Lee, and we'll see you next week.
Signing off. See you next week.